if they click up, they'll dismantle any side on their day. That's the reason they're called as unpredictable. So
Do you think Pakistan can manage to get 2 out of 2, if not one?
uh, looks extremely difficult, to be honest, because
Not just for these two teams, but also for the others in that group stages watching this game.
I'll go with 75-25 in favor.
We are now slowly and steadily heading towards the business end of the group stages, I must tell you, Deepu. And we are now focusing into the game which is going to be placed tomorrow, which is Australia versus Pakistan. A huge game for both the teams, I want to say. Just because Australia won 2 games on the trot doesn't mean it's a cakewalk for them. Similarly, Pakistan lost their game against India, coming from a defeat. So they will be looking forward to this fixture, how to win the game. So, what are your thoughts? Heavyweights Australia versus somebody like a Fatima Sana, young captain leading their side versus the mighty.
It will be a great game to actually watch, and given how the group is panning out, Group A, it makes this game even more crucial for not only for just these two sides but also the others in the group, for India, New Zealand, and even Sri Lanka. So yeah, just ensure that this will be a high voltage game between two of the best sides.
Absolutely, there will be a high voltage game between two of the best sides. Not to take away the world champions, they have been dominating this tournament so far as we expected them, as you rightly said before as well. Versus Sri Lanka, it was a comprehensive victory, but versus New Zealand, talk us through that performance versus the mighty New Zealanders, who defeated us by 58 runs and end up losing by 60 runs, getting their net run rate into the minus figures now. But Australia, firm favorites to make it to the semis now.
Yeah, I think it's almost confirmed they have one foot in the semi-finals, and with one win, I think over Pakistan, it will just guarantee that spot. Given the net run rate that they have, so that first place is confirmed more or less. It's now fight for the second place. Will it be India or the other three teams coming up? So that's the fight right now.
Absolutely. And somebody like a Pakistan, according to you, we've lost their game against India. So it's one win, one loss so far in the tournament. Huge game coming into this one versus Australia. And not easy in the last game. They will face New Zealand. We'll come into the fixtures. But what would be their plan? Just take one game at a time in case they can create an upset. Not to take disrespect from the Pakistan, but in case they create an upset versus Australia, the table firmly opens up and India versus Australia becomes a potential decider.
So I think it will be, it can be an upset, but still, it will just mess up the whole group. And from an Indian point of view, I would just want to, actually now from here on, Australia wins their games, barring that India game, and hopefully we can knock Sri Lanka and Pakistan in the remaining games. So yeah, from an Indian perspective, Australia
Okay.
needs to win, but yeah, obviously India has to win the remaining.
Exactly. Anything is possible. I must tell you, India has to win. But Australia, on the other hand, from an Indian point of view, we all said 2 to 3 days ago when Australia faced New Zealand, the winner of that fixture has to win the remaining 2 games to make India's road to the semi-finals a bit easier. But talking about the head-to-head between Australia and Pakistan, Deepu, 23 matches have been played. 18 times the team victorious has been Australia. 5 times only the team of Pakistan. Clear domination. They're not surprised, I must tell you.
Definitely not surprised, to be honest. As I've also said earlier as well, this is the best Australian team in the millennial, to be honest, because under Meg Lanning they were fantabulous, almost unbeatable, and the results are there to show for it. And now Healy is just doing the same job again. So maybe she can take through Australia, but this is just the best team and unbeatable. That tag is with them.
Okay, but talk us through this Australian side. Spoke us about the depth in their batting as well. The previous game versus New Zealand, at number 10, we saw Sophie Molyneux coming into bat, and then there was Megan Shute. It describes everything. What are your thoughts? Is it also going to be one of the best sides ever in the women's cricket?
I think, to be honest, yes. If you add McLennan into it now that she has retired, it's. I think that's the missing piece that I find. Otherwise, this is just the best Australian side in women's cricket, no doubt about it. And one day, I think they'll be compared with the men's as well. That the era the Aussies had in that 2003 to 2007, I believe,
Mhm.
and before that as well. I think the women's team is at par at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, that is absolutely true, and we will see that what happens when it comes to Australian women, what they do versus mighty Pakistan. But looking into the fixtures now, Deepu, Australia first. It's Australia versus Sri Lanka that they won in match number 5 on the 5th of October comprehensively. Now they went on to face Australia versus New Zealand, dominating performance on the 8th of October, winning that fixture by 60 runs. Now they face tomorrow Pakistan at Dubai, and then again return back to Sharjah to face India on the 13th. Not easy fixtures on paper, but now it's a different venue. You now go back to Dubai. What are your thoughts? What should you do if you are in the Australian team?
I think more than conditions, I think they'll stick with the same combination that has been delivering for them. And anyway, irrespective of the conditions that they are playing, they are almost winning up every game quite easily. Even whether it's against New Zealand or Sri Lanka or any other side, they are
Correct.
just racking up wins. So I think they'll just focus on the basics, and they are good enough to actually win the game from the jaws of defeat as well. So yeah, I think it will be easy for Australia.
Okay, so you're saying it will be easy for Australia versus Pakistan, and focusing into their opponents, which is Pakistan themselves. They faced Sri Lanka in their first game, and they won that comprehensively, surprising to all of us. Now they went on to face mighty Indians on Sunday. They lost that game, and I think it was a poor show from Pakistan. Now they face Australia tomorrow at Dubai, and they end up facing New Zealand at Dubai again on the 14th. So I think that it's good fixtures for somebody like Pakistan. Two huge games against two huge heavyweights. What are your thoughts? Do you think Pakistan can manage to get 2 out of 2, if not one?
Uh, Looks extremely difficult to be honest because these are two heavyweights. Even the New Zealand struggles against Australia and every side struggles against them, but New Zealand are really good team. So I think it will be tough for Pakistan. If I leave out Australian game, which I feel Australia are definitely favorites, Pakistan can have a chance against New Zealand, but still that has to be seen as well. So I think it will be tough, not impossible, but it's extremely difficult for them to have a chance for the semis.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be extremely difficult for somebody like a Pakistan because they were in full flow in the first game. Now they have lost to India. Their confidence might just be down. But somebody like Nida Dar's experience, they might just be like, we have nothing to lose. We have to go all guns blazing against the mighty Aussies. If we can somehow pull things off, that's going to be one of the best wins for Pakistan cricket, I must tell you. But focusing into the pitch report, it's a new condition for somebody like an Australia. Dubai International Stadium, 48 matches have been played here, Deepu. 24 apiece is what when it comes to batting first or bowling first. If you're given the captain's hat in a women's team, you have always said bat first at Sharjah. Are you going with the same method at Dubai as well?
Yeah, I'll definitely bat first, irrespective it's a day game or a night game. Obviously, when it comes to day games, you don't want the bowlers to be fielding in the heat. So yeah, definitely, I'll definitely if I win the toss, I'll bat first because the wickets are getting slower, and anyway Dubai starts slow, and I was quite surprised that from the start of the tournament the wicket is playing slow. So yeah, I think yeah,
Yeah.
definitely with the wickets slowing up day by day, I think it's better to bat first.
Okay, so you're saying it's better to bat first as the tournament progresses. It's going to get slower and slower. Fair enough. Focusing into the players to watch out for, three each from both the sides. I'm starting with Australia women, and here are my three players to watch out for. Elise Perry, Ashley Gardner, and Megan Shoot are the three players to watch out for, according to me, for Australia. And going on to Pakistan, Muniba Ali, Nida Dar, and Sadia Iqbal for Pakistan. These are my six players to watch out for, Dipu. What about yours? Are you going with the same? Any changes for you?
I'll go with Georgia Wareham. First up, being a leggy, and obviously spinners plays a key role. So yeah, she comes in. Elisa Healy hasn't been firing up much, so yeah, hopefully she comes
Yeah.
back into form. Uh, I wanted to go with Perry, but I picked her up earlier as well, so I think I'll go with Beth Mooney, another opener for
Okay.
Australia. So yeah, these three will be my for Australia. For Pakistan, obviously captain comes up, Fatima Sana. She has a tough test again after India Australia coming up. So yeah, need to see how she leads her troops. Then Nashra Sandhu will be my second option. She plays a key role and has been a veteran as well for Pakistan. And then I would have picked Dinah Begwai, but I think she's injured to be injured. I
Yeah,
think
she's
so.
injured. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go with neither that.
Need Azhar as your third. So three
Yeah.
good players you have picked from Pakistan. You've gone with the two openers and an all-rounder for Australia. So good picks. Going against me, going something different. Absolutely fair enough. Moving into the predicted playing 11, starting with Australia. I think in the previous game they dropped someone like a Darcy Brown and went to Grace Harris. She got a golden duck to her name. Did not work out well. But are you going with an unchanged 11? But I think as things are working well for them, I'm going with an unchanged 11 for Australia. What about yours?
It's tough to predict, to be honest, because Aussies are, guys who think about, who go more on logic instead of, emotions or the tactics or the, instead of, the tantrum that, okay, why should say, why we need to change a winning total, they'll anyway do it. They'll anyway change their 11. So I think there can be a room of Brown coming up in place of Grace Harris, even though what she has done in the WPL, we have enough evidence of
Mhm.
it. So
Yeah.
maybe can't say much, but I think I'll go with the same 11.
Okay, you're going with the same 11, which means that no Alana King once again for us in our playing 11 for Australia. Neither was she playing yet. She has played for Australia as well. Going into Pakistan, similar. They did not play well against India, to be very honest. But looking into the 11, they have a good side. It's just they need to put runs on the board. That is very important for them. They do not put runs on the board. The bowlers cannot defend it. They have a very strong lineup, and the strength is bowling. I'm going with an unchanged 11 for Pakistan as well. In case Diana Baig is fit, she returns back to the 11. But I think I'm going with an unchanged 11. Bat well, score a lot of runs as well. What about yours? Going with an unchanged 11 for Pakistan?
Yeah, I think you just summed it up. If Dynamic comes in, there will be an odd change. But if she doesn't, then definitely they'll play the same 11. And as I said before the tournament as well, if Pakistan have to win, they have to click up as a unit, which they did against
Yeah,
India. So
exactly.
that's need to be seen. If they click up, they'll dismantle any side on their day. That's the reason they are called as unpredictable. So if that's the if tomorrow is the day, if they click up, they, even Australia, will feel the heat. So yeah, definitely I'll go with the same 11 and back the same people to do the job.
Okay, so you're backing the same 11 for both the sides, same people to do the job, especially Pakistan, an unpredictable side. Play as a unit and showcase your class against the mighty Aussies. Predictions time now, Deepu. Match number 14, Australia women versus Pakistan women at Dubai. Huge game, not just for these two teams, but also for the others in that group stages watching this game very closely. What is your percentage?
Well, if it was only for Australia Pakistan, I would have gone with 18-15. But now India also involved. I'll go with 75-25 in favor of Australia. I have to go with it, to be honest, with the logics coming up.
So is the 10% towards India more than Pakistan?
Yeah, we are Indians. We have to give that chance as well. To we live on glimmer of hope on edge. So yeah, hopefully it favors India. Anyway,
Okay,
whatever
so
happens, it must favor India.
Okay, so 75-25 is the final prediction made by Deepu. Let's hope that India gets favored, is what his final say is. Thank you so much, Deepu. Thank you to all the viewers. Huge game, Pakistan versus Australia tomorrow. Sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to Fifth Number. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.